What makes a country truly powerful in today's world? Is it the size of its military? The wealth of its resources? Or perhaps the influence it wields on the global stage? When we think of powerful nations, Russia immediately comes to mind. But have you ever wondered what exactly makes Russia such a formidable force on the world stage? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of Russian power. From its massive geography that spans 11 time zones to its nuclear arsenal that can reshape the world, Russia's influence extends far beyond what meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this nation continues to be a major player in global politics, economics, and culture. Even in the 21st century, Russia, officially known as the Russian Federation, is the world's largest country by land area. But size alone doesn't make a nation powerful. What sets Russia apart is a unique combination of factors that have evolved over centuries of history. From the days of the Russian Empire to the Soviet Union, and now the modern Russian Federation, this country has consistently maintained its position as a global superpower. In an era where global dynamics are rapidly changing, understanding Russia's power is more important than ever. Whether it's energy politics in Europe, military interventions in various regions, or space exploration achievements, Russia's actions ripple across the globe. So let's explore the key elements that make Russia one of the most powerful countries in the world. Let's start with something that immediately sets Russia apart: its sheer size. Russia covers over 17 million square kilometers, making it nearly twice as large as the second biggest country, Canada. But it's not just about being big, it's about what this vast territory contains. Imagine flying from Moscow to Vladivostok. That's a journey of over 9,000 kilometers, crossing 11 different time zones. This massive landmass gives Russia strategic advantages that few countries can match. It provides natural barriers, diverse climates, and most importantly, access to an incredible wealth of natural resources. Russia sits on some of the world's largest reserves of natural gas, oil, coal, and minerals. The country holds approximately 20% of the world's natural gas reserves and 6% of global oil reserves. But that's just the beginning. Russia is also rich in gold, diamonds, platinum, and rare earth metals that are essential for modern technology. Think about it this way. While other countries have to import energy and raw materials, Russia can not only meet its own needs, but also export these resources to generate massive revenues. This resource wealth gives Russia significant leverage in international relations. When Russia decides to cut off gas supplies, entire regions in Europe feel the impact immediately. The Siberian region alone contains vast forests that produce about 20% of the world's timber. The country's rivers and lakes hold about 20% of the world's freshwater reserves. This abundance of natural resources provides Russia with economic security and political leverage that most nations can only dream of. Now, let's talk about what many consider Russia's most obvious source of power: its military might. Russia possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal with an estimated 6,400 nuclear warheads. That's enough firepower to destroy civilization multiple times over. But nuclear weapons are just one part of Russia's military story. The Russian military has approximately 1.35 million active personnel and over 2 million reservists. Their conventional forces include thousands of tanks, aircraft, and naval vessels. Russia's defense spending, while smaller than the United States in absolute terms, represents a significant portion of its GDP, showing the priority the country places on military strength. What makes Russian military power particularly interesting is its technological advancement. Russia has developed hypersonic missiles that can travel at speeds over 5 times the speed of sound, making them nearly impossible to intercept. The country's S-400 air defense systems are considered among the most advanced in the world, and nations like Turkey and India have purchased them Despite pressure from Western allies, Russia's military influence extends far beyond its borders through arms exports. The country is the world's second-largest arms exporter, selling weapons to over 50 countries. This not only generates revenue, but also creates military dependencies and political influence in client states. Recent conflicts have demonstrated Russia's willingness to use military force to achieve political objectives. From Georgia in 2008 to involvement in Syria and other regions, Russia has shown that it's prepared to project power beyond its borders when it serves national interests. Russia's political influence stems from both its current actions and its historical legacy. As the successor to the Soviet Union, Russia inherited not just territory and resources, but also established relationships and spheres of influence developed over decades. The Soviet Union was one of two superpowers during the Cold War, and this legacy still shapes how Russia is perceived and how it operates on the world stage. Many countries in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and parts of Africa and Latin America have deep historical ties with Russia that continue to influence current relationships. Russia's political system, centered around strong executive power, allows for quick decision-making in international affairs. While this system has its critics, it enables Russia to respond rapidly to global events and pursue long-term strategic objectives without the political gridlock that sometimes affects democratic nations. The country plays a crucial role in international organizations. Russia is a permanent member of the UN Security Council with veto power, meaning it can block international resolutions it opposes. It's also a key member of organizations like BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and the Eurasian Economic Union. Russia's diplomatic network spans the globe, with embassies and consulates in nearly every country. Russian diplomats are known for their skills and experience, often playing important roles in international negotiations and conflicts mediation. Despite facing various economic challenges and sanctions, Russia's economy remains a significant source of its global power. The country has a GDP that ranks it among the world's top 15 economies, and its economic influence extends far beyond these numbers. Energy exports are the backbone of Russian economic power. Russia supplies about 40% of Europe's natural gas and 25% of its oil. This creates a complex web of economic interdependence that gives Russia considerable political leverage. European countries may criticize Russian policies, but they still need Russian energy to keep their economies running. The construction of pipelines like Nord Stream has been a key element of Russian strategy, creating direct energy links that bypass traditional transit countries. These projects represent billions of dollars in investment and create long-term economic relationships that are difficult to break. Russia is also a major exporter of agricultural products, particularly wheat. The country is one of the world's largest grain exporters, and its agricultural policies can affect food prices globally. This agricultural power gives Russia influence in regions like the Middle East and Africa, where food security is a major concern. The country's space industry, inherited from the Soviet space program, continues to generate revenue and prestige. Russia has been the primary means of transporting astronauts to the International Space Station, and its space technology is sought after by many countries developing their own space programs. Russian companies operate globally in sectors like mining, steel production, and chemicals. These economic connections create networks of influence that extend Russian power into various regions of the world. When we think of Russian power, we often focus on military and economic aspects. But Russia's cultural influence shouldn't be underestimated. Russian literature, music, ballet, and art have profoundly influenced world culture for centuries. Names like Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Tchaikovsky, and Stravinsky are recognized worldwide. Russian ballet companies like the Bolshoi are considered among the world's finest. This cultural legacy creates a positive image of Russia that goes beyond politics and military power. The Russian language is spoken by over 250 million people worldwide and serves as a lingua franca in much of the former Soviet space. Russian media outlets like RT broadcast in multiple languages and reach millions of viewers globally, helping to project Russian perspectives on world events. Russia's education system, particularly in sciences and mathematics, has produced numerous Nobel Prize winners and world-renowned researchers. Russian universities attract students from around the world, particularly from developing countries, creating networks of Russian-educated professionals who often maintain positive views of Russia throughout their careers. The country's space achievements continue to inspire admiration worldwide. From being the first to put a satellite and a human in space to current contributions to the International Space Station, Russia's space program represents technological achievement and international cooperation. Russian Orthodox Christianity has also become a source of soft power, particularly in Orthodox majority countries in the Balkans and other regions. The Russian Orthodox Church has expanded its international presence and influence in recent decades. Russia's power is also evident in its strategic thinking and alliance building. Unlike some countries that focus primarily on regional influence, Russia thinks and acts globally. Russian strategy involves creating multiple partnerships and alliances that serve different purposes. The relationship with China has become particularly important in recent years. While not a formal alliance, the Russia-China partnership creates a counterweight to Western influence and provides both countries with strategic depth in dealing with global challenges. Russia has maintained important relationships in regions where Western influence is traditionally strong. Partnerships with countries like India demonstrate Russia's ability to maintain friendships, even when those countries have strong ties with Western nations. In the Middle East, Russia has successfully positioned itself as an alternative to Western powers. Countries that have difficult relationships with the United States often find Russia to be a more flexible partner, willing to work without demanding political reforms or changes in domestic policies. Russia's involvement in organizations like BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization helps create alternative international structures that don't depend on Western leadership. This provides options for countries that want to maintain independence from Western-dominated institutions. The country's military-technical cooperation extends to dozens of nations, creating not just economic benefits, but also political influence. Countries that depend on Russian weapons often find themselves aligned with Russian positions on international issues. So, why is Russia a powerful country? The answer lies not in any single factor, but in the combination of multiple sources of strength that reinforce each other. Russia's vast geography provides natural resources and strategic depth. Its military power, anchored by nuclear weapons, ensures that Russian interests cannot be ignored. The country's energy exports create economic dependencies that translate into political influence. Its cultural legacy and soft power create positive associations worldwide, while strategic alliances provide options and alternatives in an increasingly multipolar world. Russia's power is also about historical continuity. For over 500 years in various forms, as the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, and now the Russian Federation, Russia has been a major force in world affairs. This continuity creates institutional knowledge, established relationships, and a strategic culture that knows how to operate on the global stage. Perhaps most importantly, Russia has demonstrated the ability to adapt its sources of power to changing circumstances. When the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia rebuilt itself around different principles while maintaining its global influence. When faced with economic sanctions, it found new markets and partnerships. The key to understanding Russian power is recognizing that it operates on multiple levels simultaneously: military, economic, cultural, and diplomatic. This multidimensional approach makes Russia resilient and ensures that it will likely remain a powerful country for decades to come. As our world continues to evolve, Russia's role will undoubtedly change. but its fundamental sources of power, geography, resources, military capability, and strategic thinking, suggest that Russia will continue to be a major player in shaping our global future. What do you think makes a country truly powerful in today's world? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating insights into the forces that shape our world.